In Civil Site Design version 23.1 onwards, there's now a feature to obtain subgrade models from any of your models within Civil Site Design. Found underneath the Roads tab Auto Model pull down, we now have the Subgrade Model Manager. Users may be familiar with the existing feature, which was Auto Model Subgrade or Auto Model Datum, which generated a single surface of your subgrade from Totalmodel only. Subgrade Model Manager is an environment where we can now completely refine the subgrade model of any model, including model builder models within Civil Site Design. When Subgrade Model Manager first loads, you're going to be creating your first subgrade model. Now, to do this, we go over to the Create Submodel button. In here we provide a model name. Now this model name will also become the name of the subsequent surface that we create. So it's important that your naming is following some kind of convention. In this case I'm going to call this Roads Only. You can provide a description, meaning that if you have multiple different submodels you can distinguish between them. You can then choose a base model. Now in this first example we've got Totalmodel, which is just simply a couple of roads, some curb returns and a cul-de-sac. We can then choose what surface is sampled or classed as existing as part of this design. In this case we're going to be picking this Civil 3D surface, which is NS. The section style controls what layers within your template, within each section, so for example between the centerline to the EB or LEB code, it controls what layers are being omitted from the design of your subgrade model and what elements are being added. In the first instance, we'd recommend you pick default datum, and what this should do is go through and pick all of the bottom layers of subgrade of your design. Within this video series, there's a video which explains in more detail how the section styles operate. If you are using grading strings are always drawn within Totalmodel. And you may decide that you don't want those to be included as part of this. If any string that you add to this model has no subgrade, then it simply won't be added to the model. It only gets added if there is subgrade being applied. In this case we have no grading string, so I'm going to uncheck that box. The build surface means that it will build a Civil Site Design surface for us with an SUB for sub prefixed as part of that surface naming, and it will be using the model name for the surface. We want to include sectional break lines, and we'll talk about applying boundary retraction very shortly once we've created this model to show you how we can now reduce the triangulation around the extent of our model. And all we're going to do is now click OK. If we want to make changes to our model, we have a few options through Model Properties found on the Home tab. Model Properties will let us rename our model and change the description or apply one if we haven't already. The key things that we can do in here are to delete the submodel. Now if we delete the submodel, this will not delete any Civil Site Design surface that we have created in Surface Manager. So with build surface on, our Civil Site Design surface will have been created. If that surface is being used for whatever reason by another string, we certainly don't want to be deleting it. So we will delete the submodel for you, but you'll need to go to Surface Manager and delete any surface that is prefixed with SUB followed by your model name. We can also apply boundary retraction, so this will remove triangles from the extent of our model working inwards. So let's have a look at how this works. So I'm going to apply boundary retraction with a maximum triangle length of 15 and then click OK. Now when we do that, you'll notice that a vast majority of the triangles around the extents of our model have been removed. Now these are not edits that are found in Surface Manager. This is a particular feature which is found within the Model Properties, so you have to go back to Model Properties and adjust that value. Now you may find that this value isn't always perfect and you may remove certain sections of your design. For example, if I go down to 10, what we may find is that due to the section sampling length being around 10 for our roads, that we may lose some of the surface and triangulation within the design. So we may have to tweak that value back up to 11 to make sure that we don't lose the surface within that area. This same feature is now found within the updated model builder form as well.